Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Lucid. We're hopping back into our game with Sceleria in the Crucible. It's turn 38, so that means we're a little over 3 years into it. We're going to go ahead and hop in. We have a message from Abyssia. I think this is on hosting the game. Yeah, okay. So that's just a message to me as host. I didn't show you, but I got one of the 10% random Grand Thaumaturgs. I got an Air Water, which is one of the less useful cross paths you can have. I can't think of too much you can do with it. You can get Yetis as a summon, but I can't think of much else. But anyway, I'm going to be twice morning some of them anyway. Because, well, not only will I get a free mage, an upkeep free mage when they die, but they can also go underwater easier, and they won't be old age. So kind of good to have all around, and when I'm sending my Grand Lemurs on very risky missions, I prefer if they're twice-born. I didn't actually do a great job of microing and making sure the people that I actually twice-borned were the ones I committed to combat, so that's kind of on me. The best ones, the ones you definitely want to twice-born, are the Death 3 ones, or the Death 4 ones, if you're so lucky to get one. And that is because when they respawn, there's a chance they will become +1 in death, which will get you, if you're a 3, up to 4, and a 4 up to 5. The 4s are super duper rare, extremely rare, you probably won't get one, but a 3 plus twiceborn can be a good way to kind of climb the death ladder. Though you can skip it. It's a little tricky. We'll talk about it. Actually, we'll talk about it right now. So if you want to climb up death, with Death 2, you can build the Skull Staff, and that gets you to Death 3. We'll pull the menu up here real quick. With Death 3, you can get a... these guys? I think these guys are Death 3. You can get a Mound Fiend, which is Death 3. Yeah, Death 3 Holy 2. And you can give the Skull Staff to them, and now you're Death 4. But at this point, you're kind of stuck. The next ladder you need to climb is either an item, which is the Skull Face, which is going to get you to a +1, but it requires Death 5 to make it, so obviously your Death 3 +1 cannot get to 5. The other way to get there is with Lichcraft, but this also requires 5, so to get this, basically you need a Death 4 person to really efficiently climb Death, because you need Death 4 plus a Skull Staff to get up to the critical Death 5, which will start unlocking some of the higher stuff. Once you get this, Lichcraft, you will now have a Death 4 chassis. With the Death 4 chassis, you can forge the Skull Face, and the Skull Face plus the Staff on a Lich will get you up to Death 6, which is pretty good. It's enough to cast some important globals like Well of Misery, but it is not enough to do things like Tartarian Gate. For this, you will need Death 7, and to get there, you will need a unique item, or you will need to empower. Yeah, so this is a bit tricky. There's, depending what you have for your chassis too, you can also do like the, what is it, the Jade Mask or something like that. I've never really used the Jade Mask much, so I don't really know about that route. But anyway, that was a very long rabbit trail on Death Path boosting, but... we'll come in. So first there's a battle here with Agartha and Man. I think we'll watch it because I believe this is a Marble Oracle. We'll see how he kitted him out. So he's doing Wraith Swords. This is actually a pretty good item on Marble Oracles because it is very hard to heal them, but they will heal from Life Drain. Life Drain does work on undead and inanimate beings. He has a Horned Helmet, which is nice. It will give an additional attack. In addition to providing defense. It's also very cheap to make. It's good protection and basically just costs 5 nature gems, so very, very nice on inanimate chassis. With other guys, I think it does increase the amount of fatigue you're going to get, though I'm not totally sure. The elemental armor, quite nice on these guys. It makes them very, very hard to kill. He's not even blessed yet, and I know Agartha has a bless that gives resistances and other such things. Boots of the Messenger, kind of nice, a little bit of overkill. Not sure he's... Actually, this is totally overkill. It's probably mostly for the mobility and giving increased map move. Storm Spool would be pretty good against Man, because Man can do lightning stuff. And then Amulet of Anti-Magic is always kind of nice. So let's see what this guy looks like after the Bless. he can do Bless and then Holy Avenger, and then after the Bless you can see he's quite resistant to a bunch of different things. Blood Surge is going to be pretty nice. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The Bless doesn't do too much. And then Holy Avenger, and he is going to probably charge into combat now. Or, okay, he's on a script to hold, and this will keep him at the back. And so that's pretty good scripting. Meanwhile, man will run forward. And then, yeah. Oh, actually, I don't... Yeah, Blood Surge does not work on inanimates either. Oh, does it? Maybe it does. I'm not totally sure. Blood Surge, I'm not sure. It doesn't appear to have worked right there. Let's go see if it works when he kills this guy. Oh, it does. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, kind of overkill for that, but anyway, that's a pretty good Marble Oracle build. Does a lot of damage. Fortunately, I have Apostasy to deal with this kind of business. I'll probably have some other tools too. But anyway, such is life. The nice thing about Apostasy, actually, let's check real quick. I always forget these small little details. So there's basically two types of charm of control. There's basically an enslave effect, and there's a charm effect. The difference is that if you charm them, which is what Apostasy is, in their commander, they will stay a commander and you'll keep whatever gear they have. If you enslave them, they'll lose their gear and they will be reverted to a normal unit, at which point you'll have to Gift of Reason them. So I probably should have known that. But anyway, Apostasy, if I can land it on one of these guys, which actually let's double check to make sure I can do it. Otherwise I'll have to prepare other types of things. Yeah, it's range 50, which is really long range. And it affects sacred units, but does not get countered by any of the other business. Like, it's not like it doesn't affect undead. We're going through this turn pretty slow. Okay, so basically we raid one of these provinces. This is probably about 6 PD. Quite nice. Yis is attacking us here, and I think he's... Where is he? Dark Waves. That's here, so he cleans me off of that. He attacks me here and cleans me off of... I believe this is one of my forts. Yep. There is a battle here. And this is one of his thugs. I'm pretty sure he's going to win this, but we'll see what he does. So he casts Mistform. I don't know if you caught that. He had a 1 air gem. And Mistform is air 2. So if you want to use these guys as thugs to raid, a lot of times you'll put an air gem on them, and then they can cast Mistform. And he's going to run in. I have no way of killing a Mistformed one of these guys. Yeah. Okay, where was that? Okay. Oh, I think that was this battle we just watched. I think I actually had this Mountain King scripted to retreat, which I don't know if I intended or not, but that's actually okay, because he would have lost anyway. They killed this cultist. I don't know where that was. Let's go, which province is this? Okay, so I'd had a cultist here. We'll watch this battle. I don't know what he was doing. I definitely wasn't building any infrastructure here. I have not tried to build any infrastructure on this wasteland, though I probably will eventually. But right now it doesn't give me any additional gold, and I don't exactly need more recruitment points or places. I'm kind of tapped out trying to put up infrastructure and then also just do commander recruitment. So I don't really need any more. But we'll see, that could change. And plus it does have some kind of good sites. It's got 3 gems worth of stuff, and just preventing that from ever getting raided is worth something. So that was this in Flimstein, and then here in Satis we have a battle. Okay, so let's watch this. We are pinging Satis to see what he's got going on in here. This is his god, and it is a monument with 34 protection. Holy shit. And 700 HP. That's gonna take me a while to chew through. He's also got his Marshmasters out in force, which is a little bit annoying. We can see a ton of them. I think he expected me to attack. So anyway, I'm kind of glad we pinged. I probably would have lost. Or I definitely would have lost. I don't have any way of killing this guy right now. I could potentially Soul Slam, but the problem is his magic resistance is pretty damn high. Yeah. We'll see. I think I can probably take it. It'll be tricky though. I'm gonna have to use Rigor Mortis, otherwise he's going to have better mages at that fight than I will. We have a battle here, and this is me jumping on top of this fort. And there's really nothing here, it's just PD, so they're gonna get crushed. I take 3 losses. And then there's a battle in Nuptia, which is our favorite province by the sea. And we successfully put another army back on top of this fort. He's gonna have a hard time recruiting anything here, because I've got this army just bouncing around on top of it so much. Okay, we have an assassination attempt. What the hell? Okay, this is a ghost versus this guy. Hopefully he doesn't have any gear. Nope, okay. This guy's basically dead. He could dust to dust him if he is smart. But instead he will cast Body Ethereal, because that's going to help versus magic weapons, which the ghost has. Dust to dust. No, just run. Okay, that was really smart. You deserve to die. Okay, we got cursed because we are the god of good events. Have I claimed this freaking throne yet? I better have. It gives me fortune, and right now I only seem to have misfortune. And you can see we have killed about 7 different spies, or whatever you call it. Which province are they in? Most of them were here, so they were watching this. Oh, shit, did we? Okay. So they were kind of watching what's going on. There's probably some spies here, too. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So let's zoom out real quick. Actually, a pit stop on research. We have Alteration 6, which is one of the reasons I was delaying attacking Satis. Now, Darkness in a Skelly spam battle is not going to matter much. It's kind of just a waste of death gems, but he has a lot of PD, and he has a bunch of troops. So it is worth putting Darkness up. It will make his initial troops count for less. Anyway, I've got that. We're going to go for Alteration 7. Now, you might say, why am I going for Alteration 7? And trust me, there are some reasons, though they are a bit obscure. Here we go. So we have this. Alt 7, the big reason here is mass protection. I don't have easy access to this, and I'm going Alt 7 a little bit before I'm going to be ready to put this up, but if I start forging crystal matrices and I put them on my jade sorceresses and they jump into a communion, they can cast this, and verse non-fire nations, of which there's really only one, and that's Yis, and that's really only fighting Yis underwater, because on land they have a fire attack. Mass protection will be quite good against Marignon and against Abyssia and against Agartha. With Magma Children, it will be much less useful. But anyway, that is an option. Curse of the Frog Prince does not work on inanimates. Huh. This will actually be okay against Marignon when they get their super combatants out. That'll be kind of fun if I get a fair number of nature mages. And that's basically it. Oh no, sorry. Fog Warriors is the big one. This one will be useful against most everybody. Yeah, it's going to be really good. And fortunately, I have a fair number of Grand Thaumaturgs which already have an air path. And so when they hop into a communion, they can cast it. I don't have a lot of air income, so anyway, not great, but we'll be using that to make little Fog Warrior armies. And yeah, so anyway, good reason to go Alt 7. The big reason actually was Fog Warriors. I think Mass Protection was a second thought. And Fog Warriors we are ready to use, though I'm probably going to be lazy and not use it when I should. One thing I should do, and I'm not actually doing it here, is I should go ahead and take... I think I have some air guys down here. Do I not? Okay, I've got this guy. So this is the guy that I did Twiceborn with. So I should take him, and then where's my other air dude? I know I have like a couple of you. I think they're out sight searching, because I do want to get an air income, which is what you want to use your Grand Lemurs to really site search, not so much to research. Okay, here's one. He's site searching around. Anyway, very shortly I'm going to have to take these guys off of site searching duty, which, by the way, they're not finished with. You can see we have a pretty pathetic covering of Air 1. I think there's another guy out site searching air somewhere around here. Because we will have this researched in a hot minute. At 800 a turn, it's only 4 turns away. Or 3 turns away, I'm sorry. And we will have Fog Warriors, which will be quite nice. And this is very, very good timing for Fog Warriors, and I didn't even rush it. I already hit Enchantment 6, and then Construction 4. So, we're not going to attack them yet. That was a kind of scary-looking monument. I think and the reason we're not going to attack him is because as long as I've got this army here, he's going to try to pin his stuff up in his cap, which will basically open up the rest of his lands to me. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to storm this. I don't think there's much of anything inside of here. We're going to go ahead and try to pin down whatever he's got in this fort by moving just 1 Mound King worth of stuff. And we're going to move a few Mound Kings worth of stuff here with the idea that we can potentially go and take this from Yis the turn after. Or move them here. We'll see. We have some flexibility. But basically we're going to kind of stall on this battle, because if I lose this, he can send this army out and potentially interfere with my other plans. So I don't really want to risk it. Yeah. Have we claimed this damn throne? That is a question. Okay, we have claimed it. We should have luck everywhere, but we still get nothing but bad events. What the hell is going on? Anyway. Wait, are we attacking? Oh yeah, so we came to an agreement with Marignon this turn. Well, I guess between last turn and this turn. As I mentioned, we have a new player. The player had some personal stuff going on, and then also got upset with me for some rather unknown reason having to do with diplomacy. But anyway, he has left, which I really desperately tried to talk him out of. I was like, hey man, stay. We can work it out. But anyway, I think the personal stuff was probably really behind it all. I think he had some health issues in his family that he had to deal with, and that does not put one in a good mood for dealing with what can often be very tense Dominion's diplomacy. And I'm also a bit of a cutthroat diplomatist. In other words, if I think I have the strategic leverage where it's like, okay, you can't really protect this from me, and you're too big, and anyway, like, I'm not going to say, okay, you can just have it because I'm going to be nice. I'm going to say, okay, I mean, you can't really keep it, so you should give it to me, and if not, then we can fight about it, and then we can change our minds in like 5 or 6 turns. So, but I guess that can be kind of tense for people, especially if you're doing it via texting and stuff in Steam, and they cannot see that you're not actually angry with them, you're just trying to get a good deal. But the arrangement we came to is basically this land that I've been saying all along is really stuff that the original Marignon player said that I would probably be able to have as a result of our war. He agreed to give it to me, so I'm going to take this one first and then this one second. And that's basically how that's going to go. Here we're going to pillage this province, hopefully that we may get our butt kicked out, and then we're going to move these guys back. And we're kind of just pinging around here. Basically, I know I'm not going to be able to win against Yis in the ocean, so I'm going to just kind of raid, and if I can, pillage, and potentially, like, hop on his throne, I mean, his forts, whenever I can. And I don't know if I've talked about it at length, but I have offered Yis peace for a long period of time. Basically saying you can have the ocean and attack anybody else, and I'll give you as long of a peace treaty as you want. But he wanted all this back, these 3 provinces, which I had already started forts on them by the time we started negotiating, so for me that was off the table. And then plus, there is no way he is going to run into my communions and kill me on land easily. If he does, it will be at a great cost, and if I really dedicate a lot of resources to it, there's no way he can. So like a big communion with 20 mages, I don't think Yis has anything he could bring which would kill all that. So anyway, that's why I basically refused to give him the original territory I took from him back. But he's not happy about it and wants to keep fighting, which is totally his call. I am not at all tilted about that. I would potentially do the same thing if I were him. We're going to be moving and attacking this. I had pillaged this province before, so the unrest was up, and so he has a bunch of shrimp soldiers, which he is using to patrol down whatever is in here. So we're going to send a little army of shrimp killers, and we're basically just going to drop rigor mortis and then bring a bunch of skeletons, and it's nothing that I can't lose, but we'll see what happens. And I'm thinking this army he has here, which is, I can't remember how big it is. Yeah, it's a small little squad. I have a chance of killing them even if they come in here, but if they do, I'm probably going to die. But I'm expecting this squad is going to kick me off here or here, so I think I have a good chance of actually killing these little shrimps, which is what I'm going to do. And we're pillaging here. I expect this group to probably die. Yeah. What else? I think that's mostly... Okay, so here's the other thing. We've got some raiders. Let's take a look at each of these raiders real quick. This is one of the champions. This is a... I think... Are these all... No, this is the army. And this is a champion, if I recall. So he's got two little champions running around raiding me, which is actually good for him. He gets a fair amount of income, and then it's going to stop down any priest production I have. And the problem with raiding is I don't know where he's going to go, and I'm basically, so I need to catch him from every single province he can attack me from. So if he moves this way and I'm moving this way, like to attack him, then there will be a battle. And so what I'm going to move is one of these guys. A whole army of these guys, especially with Rotarius mixed in, will definitely kill one of these raiders. We're moving in a whole host of undead. This will probably be able to kill a raider, though it's possible the raider could kill it. And then we're moving people from my capital, too, in case he tried to get frisky and run this guy into my capital. I don't think he will, but he could. This group here, basically, I've only got mages under here. They were researching, and they're going to keep researching, and he can sit his army on top of this fort for as long as he wants, because he's doing, what, 50 damage, 70 damage a turn? Yeah, it's going to be a long time. In a year, he will eventually siege this fort down, and I'll be forced to respond. But until then, we will stay strong. Now, we are moving a pretty big group in here. When we look at all this stuff, we're moving these raiders, we're moving a bunch of other guys, and I'm moving a communion. What's important, though, is the raiders are not all coming from one province, which is usually what you want to do if you're going to have a big army fight. But I'm making sure I send some people from a lot of neighboring provinces, like this one and this one, because that way, if this raider decides to move here, there will be a battle. If I send everybody from my main fort, then if the raider moved here, which he could, I would come and take back this province with a big army, but I wouldn't win anything. And that is because he would come down here and kick the PD out of this fort. So by moving from multiple directions, there's nowhere really for this guy to go to. And the reason I'm moving a big army and not just that one anti-raiding squad is because he has a huge army here, and I'm going to need to bring a lot of artillery to that fight. And you can see the artillery I'm bringing. I've got Darkness queued up. I've got Drain Life spam. This is one of the great things that comes at Alt 6. I think it's Alt 6. And this will make very, very quick work of any Movarks which get in range. So my Drain Life spammers, you can see they're up here at the front of my formation. And they're going to be doing invulnerability in case they catch some kind of random, I don't know, stuff at the front and then Drain Life. And those will make very, very, very quick work of any Movarks. The nice thing about Drain Life is it's very high precision, so it's always going to hit. It does a fair amount of damage, it's very low fatigue cost, and it does armor negating damage. So anyway, pretty damn awesome. Is it AoE 1? No, it's one person, so it's not going to clear a whole tile, but it will kill one Movark Knight at a time, which is perfectly fine with me. I don't believe it's affected by Glamour, but I could be wrong. And we're also dropping Rigor Mortis because that is how we roll these days. We're doing Divine Channeling too, which is actually pretty good because it lets these guys cast Word of... Where are we? Holy Word, and this will actually stun units, but it only affects Sacreds, which fortunately the Sacreds are the ones I want to target. So these priests will automatically start casting that once I get Divine Channeling up. And I think that's basically it. So, where's my actual communion slaves? Oh, here they are. Okay, so I've got 6. Yeah, you can see we're moving a lot of dudes in. This is a big army. If he moves this... Now, this is a good player. So, one of the tactics that you use when you're raiding or fighting is you'll put really small raiding squads out on top of forts, or you'll leave just one unit behind, and then when the other player inevitably tries to clear it out, they don't usually want to clear it out with a big army, because that would be very wasteful of the big army's time. So instead what they'll do is they'll clear it out with like maybe a medium-sized army, and then you can send your big army in to kill it. And I'm going to be moving a big army in because there's a high risk that this big army moves to kill my medium army that I would send in. But there's also a big chance this big army moves out this way. I have no idea what this army's going to do. But anyway, I'm not going to risk potentially having some good stuff die. So anyway, this is kind of the plan. We have spent a lot of time on this turn. I've kind of gone into more detail than I normally do, talking about tactics and things like that. But that's basically it. We're going to be taking this. We're going to be hanging tight. I probably could go ahead and move on this, but instead I'm going to wait. I'm going to take this province, and then I'm probably going to take both of these groups and this group and attack Cetis right here in the middle. And it will also give me enough time to lock down this portion of the empire before I risk a very risky fight against that monument. So I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a bit longer than normal, and we only covered one turn. But yeah, thanks for watching.